What's up, Mets fans? Welcome back to the channel. And finally, baseball is back, baby. As we know, at the time of recording this today, pitchers and catchers have officially reported to Port St. Lucie for the New York Mets to start off their 2021 MLB Spring Training and then getting closer to the season. And boy, am I excited. And among these players that have reported, there are a couple non-roster invites, one of them being one of the top, if not the top prospect for the New York Mets currently in Francisco Alvarez. So he will be the topic of discussion today, because if you guys haven't been following along throughout the past offseason, as the Mets were in many discussions and may still very well get a deal done for one of these players down the road, possibly, just not yet at least, that being in either Chris Bryant from the Cubs or Eugenio Suarez from the Reds. Both of them, according to Mike Puma, as you see here over the past 2 weeks, have inquired on Francisco Alvarez, and this isn't anything new for someone that's been following along. And because of that reason, the Mets have stalled and really shut down those discussions. They're not willing to part ways with Alvarez, and for good reason. But why exactly is that? What separates Alvarez from the rest, really from the rest of this prospect pool as it is, has made him one of the better prospects in all of the MLB currently? That's what we'll be taking a look at in today's video. A breakdown on Alvarez, everything there's to know about him, his game, just how star-studded of a prospect he is for the Mets, what we as Mets fans can expect from Alvarez in a couple years going forward, and everything in between. So as always, guys, make sure you stay all the way until the end of the video. Find all the details on my thoughts on Alvarez, his game, how enticing he is, not just for the Mets, but for opposing teams via trade. And if you guys end up enjoying this kind of Mets content and want to see more great Mets content like this, make sure you smash that like and subscribe button, share this video with your friends, put on the notification bell, all those great things. Thank you all so much for the countless support, guys. Now let's get right into today's video. Here we have 19-year-old catching prospect for the New York Mets and Francisco Alvarez. At a strong 5'11", 220 pounds, ready at the plate and with the glove, originally signed with the Mets in July of 2018 for a whopping $2.7 million, which at the time was a club record for the biggest signing bonus ever awarded to an international prospect, and since then has become one of the better prospects in all of baseball, currently ranked within the Mets organization second only to Ronnie Mauricio according to MLB.com, and also according to Keith Law for The Athletic has him ranked first within the organization, and also among Keith Law's top 100 prospects currently has him ranked 19th in all of baseball. And in 2019, when you look at his short appearance in spring training for the Mets, in 3 games played and 12 at-bats, had 1 home run, 5 RBIs, and a .500 average. And since then, in 2019, that same year, splitting time with the Gulf Coast League and the Appalachian League, in 42 games played and 157 at-bats, racked up 7 home runs, 26 RBIs, a .312 batting average, a .407 on-base percentage, a .510 slugging, and a .916 OPS. As always, guys, if you would like to check out the individual articles that I'm referencing as part of my sources for today's video, make sure you do just that for MLB.com, respectively, for their Sky report on Alvarez. And the same thing with Keith Law for The Athletic, a great breakdown, another great mind in the MLB when it comes to prospect breakdowns. And it was very enticing to see a guy of his stature not just saying that, yes, the Mets' top prospect is currently Francisco Alvarez, but he's a top 20 prospect in all baseball. That is exciting, no less. But if you want to expand a little bit further on Alvarez and his grading skill here through the article of MLB.com, you have the following. Out of a possible 80, between 20 and 80 for the grading scale, Alvarez here has a strong 55, and in the process also has 55 when it comes to his hit, 55 for his power, 40 for his run, 60 for his arm, and fielding at 55 as well. So strong numbers, no less, and is a guy that in my mind is definitely going to bring a lot to the table for the Mets in the coming years. Here's also a quote from Keith Law from his articles explaining a scouting report on Francisco Alvarez, which in my mind is unbelievably exciting, and that is the following. With his contact skills and present power, he'll be very good. But if the power develops or he maintains his strong walk rates, the Venezuelan teenager will be a star. And boy, oh boy, is that something. To hear that from him among all the other people that we could hear that from, I think that's tremendous. So when you look at further on Alvarez and his game here, a lot of things to take into account. This guy, when it comes to his bat, has been unbelievably strong and is getting better by the day. He is definitely the top prospect, I would say, for the Mets currently, because what separates him from the rest isn't just his bat, but it's his overall game. It's not just, you know, his actual hand-eye with how precise he is at the plate. The guy does not strike out much at all. He gets on base plenty, he walks plenty, and he's a guy also that when it comes to his defensive game is at least average and is getting better by the day also. When you look at his bat, it has plenty of pop, and as long as you can get some more power in there over time, which definitely will come natural for for a guy about 5'11", he's very stocky. I imagine that he's only going to be getting stronger at the age of 19 currently. So much to love about Francisco Alvarez, and for a catching position that is very rare, is normally a hot commodity as it is, because when you look around the MLB, it's not easy to find catching as it is. You're not going to see the JT Realmutos or the James McCanns possibly popping up in free agency each year. You know, they're kind of few and far in between. And for a Mets team that really hasn't had a top catcher since Mike Piazza for the most part, yes, James McCann is phenomenal now, but he's not going to be here for the next decade. Assumably, once McCann's time in New York is done, Alvarez should come right into the reins because he has an expected ETA of right around 2023, which is great. So that means that he could possibly at least get 1 year under McCann should he still be with the Mets, and then really blossom. So when you look at the Mets and being reluctant in parting ways with Alvarez, it makes more and more sense as I continue to do my deep dive and thorough breakdown on why Alvarez is such a great prospect. He separates himself from the rest, for the most part, from the rest of this prospect pool. I know that guys like Mauricio and Beatty and all these others, and Armstrong, Matthew Allen, they're all exciting and very enticing, no doubt. But Alvarez, between being a catcher, between being responsible at the plate as a hitter and as a catcher, has a strong defensive game. His arm is solid as well, and I'm just unbelievably excited to see what the future holds for Alvarez. So Mets fans, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about Francisco Alvarez? Do you believe that was the right call for the Mets currently, at the time of recording this at least, to not part ways with Alvarez in a bigger blockbuster deal, even if that is exactly what the opposing team is demanding and it would make sense value-wise? Do you believe that Alvarez could very well be the next face for the New York Mets out of a lot of their other prospect options? I would love to hear it. And if you guys ended up enjoying this kind of Mets content and want to see more great Mets content like this, more prospect breakdowns, more prospect content as we're getting close to the season, make sure to let me know in the comments below by also hitting that like and subscribe button. Share this video with your friends, put on the notification bell, all those great things. Thank you all so much again for checking out this video, and I'm really excited to see what the future holds here at WardyNYM. So thanks again, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll talk to you soon.